6:48 in our Smart Start for Wednesday. Breaking updates. One person is dead, 5 others hospitalized after a shooting in New Albany, Ohio at a warehouse.
Authorities say so far at least 100 people were inside the cosmetics facility when the targeted shooting happened around 10:20 last night. Dozens of law enforcement officers responded to the scene, and police say they have identified the person of interest, but they're not in custody yet. So it's unclear if they may have been an employee at the facility.
The death of a man from Greece, brutally beaten by corrections officers at Marcy State Prison last year, has been ruled a homicide.
And that, according to a new report in the Albany Times-Union. We do want to warn you first, the video we're about to show you of the assault is certainly disturbing. Robert Brooks was serving a sentence of 12 years for assault, and he died after this horrific beating in December. The Times-Union says that a special grand jury is set to begin reviewing the case and evidence as soon as next week. A copy of the autopsy report shows Brooks died from compression of the neck and multiple blunt force injuries. 17 corrections employees, 4 sergeants, 11 officers, and 2 nurses were all suspended or resigned. The governor has also called for all involved in the assault to be fired.
How many more? That was the question raised last night at a public forum with the Rochester Police Accountability Board.
That meeting is also in response to what happened to Robert Brooks. During this meeting, personal stories have been shared by those who also experienced what they call incarceration injustice. Brooks's father, Robert Ricks, has helped to lead this call for change. He tells us that the need for reform goes far beyond one person and his son. In fact, surrounded by the students that he teaches, he emphasized the same message.
This is no longer about my son. It's about her and her and him and him and her dad and her uncle and my nieces and my nephews. That's what it's about. And our kids are still going to be undereducated, and we're still going to be living in poverty. All these things are going to continue until all of us good people get together and make a decision to change it.
You can hear more from the forum. We have posted it in a full story on our website, rochesterfirst.com.
The Monroe County DA's office is prosecuting a former official from Greece accused of putting a tracker on a Greece man's car, and he didn't know about it. Ex-Deputy Town Supervisor Michelle Marini faces a number of charges. The DA confirmed this week one of those is linked to Ryan Murphy. He's currently suing the town, claiming it harassed and tracked him and his family after he spoke out about the home process dealing with reassessments. His claims part of our exclusive on-camera interview with Adam Chodak that he had with Murphy. He says police even got involved, making frequent stops in his neighborhood, talking to neighbors about him, even at one point shining a floodlight into their windows. That prompted Murphy and his wife to come up with an emergency backup plan.
My wife has been affected by this a lot, and you know, she wanted to make sure that if I got arrested or if she got arrested, the kids knew who to call, you know, how to contact people.
The town did give us a statement explaining it doesn't comment on pending litigation, but it did say the supervisor will continue to, quote, vigorously defend the taxpayers against lawsuits against the town. You can read more of our coverage and hear the rest of our interview that Chodak did on our homepage.
President Trump welcomed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to the White House. This is the first foreign leader to visit the president in his second term.
And President Trump made many headlines out of this, and starting with saying the U.S. could take over Gaza and develop it. He also says the U.S. could, quote, own it, and eventually Palestinians and others would live there once it's rebuilt. Netanyahu, who said the idea should be at least considered, also praised the president for his work on the recent hostage deal.
Your leadership to help bring our hostages home, among them American citizens. You freed up munitions that have been withheld from Israel.
The announcement about the Gaza takeover was met with shock around the world. Leaders of several of the most powerful Arab nations had previously said they strongly oppose any suggestion that people, residents of Gaza, be resettled in other nations. At 6:53, another update here of the roads in your sunrise traffic report. A view there, volume picking up pretty heavy there from our Greater Rock Sky Eye of 490 coming into downtown, passing by the ballpark, but it is moving along. 590 north and southbound. If you're over there on the east side, headed out to Webster, coming in across the Bay Bridge, everything's moving along at speed. Do have one accident here in Rochester on the east end at University and East Main. More sunrise traffic updates during CBS Mornings beginning at 7:25.
American Rock Salt Company leaders say they're trying to work to meet the demand as the salt shortage continues. In Penfield, town officials say they now turn to the Department of Public Works' salt barn for a mix of rock salt and sand. It's how they say they are trying to treat the roads despite a short supply from the region's biggest salt manufacturer over in Mount Morris. Other towns report working with other salt mines trying to collaborate and accommodate needs as they await a fresh supply from American Rock Salt. In the meantime, the biggest word of advice they share for drivers: take caution and always practice patience.
If you need work done at the DMV, maybe you want to check out the mobile unit returning to Brockport today. That is meant to provide easier access to those living in the suburbs. Services include license, registration renewals, but no services for getting real IDs or permit testing for the mobile unit. It will be set up from 10 to 3:30 at Brockport Village Court.
Well, new this morning, Breeze Airways finally announces a new beginning and bringing a, quote, seriously nice service to Rochester Airport.
So this is non-stop or one-stop flights going to several locations such as Charleston, South Carolina, Orlando if you want to go to Disney, and New Orleans. Tickets currently set between $50 and $60 for one-way flights, and those will be launching the flights beginning in May. Happening tonight, the YMCA invites you to come out for a special Black History Month discussion as author, activist, and survivor of the 1963 KKK bombing in Birmingham, Sarah Collins Rudolph, will be here sharing her story. Sarah was the fifth girl in this deadly attack that killed 4 other girls inside 16th Street Baptist Church. You can hear from her at that event beginning at 7 at the In Christ New Hope Ministry off Pinnacle Road.
Well, hey, there's a fun one. Today is also World Read Aloud Day.
Students all over, including RCSD, joining in. This event is celebrated around the world by students, schools, and literacy advocates in now more than 100 countries, all designed, yes, to promote reading and the awareness that everyone has an inherent right to learn to read. Many people, leaders of this community, and celebrity guests will be there reading aloud to the students, including our very own morning meteorologist, James Gilbert.
Oh, yes.
Before you step out, get in that line for the bus drop-off, let's
Yes.
get the forecast here.
Yes,
That's right.
very important.
Getting the kids to school, got to go today. No cancellations. Despite those morning snow showers, temperatures in the teens. We get in the mid-20s this afternoon. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting one. At this time, we've got a wintry mix. Maybe some snow, sleet coming in as well. But you see temperatures obviously spike to 41 by the afternoon. We get cold again going into Friday, snow showers. And then after tomorrow, the topic will be the weekend. What happens there with potential accumulating snow overnight?
Yes. Dr. Seuss, Llama Llama, one of those maybe?
Yeah,
Where's your
right.
weather book?
The bear snores on. How's that sound?
There we go. How about
Okay,
that?
all right.
Enjoy that. That does it for us here at Sunrise. We'll see you back here in 30.
Have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather.